My name is Serene. I will be the host of today's webinar, and we have our speaker. Our speaker is Piyush Mathur. He's our Senior Solution Advisor, and he's located in India. Today, Piyush will be sharing with us about our new and improved Zimbra Talk version 2, or we call it Zimbra Talk V2. So without any further delay, let me hand it over to Piyush. Piyush, take it away, please.
Hello everyone, this is Piyush Mathur. So, as Serene said, I am a Senior Solutions Advisor with Zimbra, and I'm based out of India. Today we are going through the features and what's new in Zimbra Talk version 2. So this is our new improved version, the software of Zimbra Talk version. So the agenda of this meeting is obviously we'll walk through the features of the product. We will discuss briefly on the licensing, how does this work, and also what have the changes been made in the product in the background. So what you see in the front versus what's been done in the background as well. I will walk through this presentation, then we do a small lookup of the UI and how does it looks like, and then we will open it for Q&A. So you can park your questions for then, and then we can get them answered during the Q&A session. So talking about Zimbra Talk V2, which is our the latest release of Zimbra Talk. This is an enterprise level video conferencing, audio, video, and instant messaging software built into the Zimbra web client. So you do not need to install any third-party software or a plugin on the user's PC. It is just available on your web client when you log in to your email. This only works with the Zimbra Network Edition. Zimbra Talk is not, this is not available with the open source version of Zimbra. So Zimbra Talk will only work with Network Edition of Zimbra. So we have classified the functions into two different features, the basic features and the advanced features. The basic features are buddy list management, one-to-one text chat, maintaining chat history, emoticons, doing your status, friends status, which can be away, available, busy, or 4 different types of friends awareness that you can put, and you can manage your buddy list in terms of your official team buddies and other different kind of groups that you can create in your buddy list. And there is no server-side configuration or server-side installation that you need to do to have the Zimbra Talk V2, which means it is installed when you install the Zimbra software. When we talk about the advanced features of Zimbra Talk, it gives you read and delivery awareness, group messaging, which means you can create multiple groups and have groups, people in a similar group talking to each other, video conferencing, create channels and spaces. We will come to what channels and spaces are as we go ahead in this deck. File sharing and screen sharing in the same tab. So you don't have to go out of your mail tab. You don't have to go out of your email client, which is the Zimbra web client, to do all of this. Whether you want to do a video conferencing, you want to do an audio chat, you want to do file sharing, you want to do your screen sharing, everything from within the same interface. So your user really doesn't have to move out of the email interface to a different client. The Zimbra Talk backend features, when we talk about how do you enable it, it is managed per class of service or a per user level. So you can explicitly define these features for a user, or users under a class of service will automatically inherit these features. This is XMPP based compliant IAM, so If you want to use an offline client like an ODM or any other client for that matter, which is XMPP client, you can configure your chat using your client. We have a built-in turn server compatibility, which means if you have a distributed environment of multiple offices and Zimbra Talk being deployed in your data center, you just need to deploy a turn server in-house, and your users would be able to communicate with each other. So you don't have to depend on any other going to the internet to do this communication. No core installation required, which means unlike the version 1 where we had to deploy a Zimbra Talk software separately, the Zimbra Talk V2 is something that gets installed with the core. When you install the Zimbra software, the Zimbra Talk also gets deployed. It is just a matter of license. If you deploy that license, it gets enabled. So you don't need to really deploy a separate software on a separate machine and manage it separately. It's all managed from the Zimbra admin console, from the same installed from the same Zimbra core software installation. There is very minimal configuration needed. As I said, since you do not need to install a separate software on a separate VM or a separate server, you just need to enable basic things like which user, which class of service, what features need to enable for what set of users. Is that what you need to do to configure Zimbra Talk? So there's very less configuration needed from the server side to deploy Zimbra Talk V2. So we support this is basically WebRTC protocol. So you are not doing any interaction via the server. So it's all peer-to-peer transactions. So when I'm doing a video call with you or with three people in the same video room, I am not doing through the server. It's all peer-to-peer. So there is no server load that you need. So you don't need a very heavy server for people to work on a video conferencing environment with Zimbra Talk. And we do have dedicated audit logs for your security purpose. So you want to maintain a log of various activities that happened on the server. There is a dedicated audit log that is available in the back end of the server. Talking about licensing, Zimbra Talk version 2 is licensed per user. So for as many number of users you want to implement Zimbra Talk, it is a per user license. So when you buy Zimbra, the Zimbra license that gets shipped to you as a customer, like all other features that are available as a yes or a no in the license file, the Zimbra Talk feature also is just enabled or disabled like for all other features in the network edition. So Zimbra Talk version 2, as we said, there are basic features and the advanced features. Basic features is something that is available out of the box. You don't need any licensing for that. But for people who want to do advanced features like video conferencing, file sharing and all of that, you need the advanced features licenses. Only granted advanced features counts towards the licensing. So people in an environment of say 1,000 users, you can have 300 users or 500 users with advanced features, and the remaining can be with basic users. So you will need to buy licenses for only users that are with the advanced features. The basic features of text chat and one-to-one and one-to-many chat that we talked about do not count towards any licensing. So all of that is so in Zimbra Administration Console, we just have a new tab under the class of service that will help you enable the advanced features, enable chat history, or disable video conferencing, which are the advanced features of the Zimbra Talk. So if you do not enable similar features for a user, he is counted against the basic user, and therefore the licenses are not counted towards that user. I will stop here for a moment for you to go through this slide, and then we move to the next slide so that you're able to capture this. So we go ahead, and this is very important, which is Zimbra Chat, which is available on the Zimbra open source edition, can neither coexist nor is compatible with Zimbra Talk. So you cannot have an environment with Zimbra Chat, which is the open source, which is available in the open source version of Zimbra, and users on the network edition of Zimbra coexist and talk to each other. So that will never happen. So however, if you want users to have basic features and the advanced features, all of them can have. You can do a subset of users, of advanced users and basic users. So there can be users who just need text chat in an environment, and there can be users who need the advanced features. They can coexist, but the Zimbra chat in open source and Zimbra chat in the network edition cannot coexist. Zimbra network edition works with the talk Zimlet, whereas the open source works only with the chat Zimlet. So these are two different environments. So that's a very important thing that you need to keep in mind before talking to your customers and partners. How do you enable Zimbra Talk? So licenses, as I said, is available. Zimbra Talk is enabled on a license of Zimbra software. So when you install the Zimbra software, it gets installed, and if you purchase Zimbra Talk, you just need to go to your class of service in the admin console and enable Zimbra Talk and enable users who will fall under that specific class of service. So you don't have to do a lot of things in terms of administration or enabling Zimbra Talk. So just go to the admin console and enable the Talk advanced features. So this is how the UI looks like. So the Zimbra chat panel looks like. So this is basically developed on React, seamlessly integrates with the Zimbra webmail client. People can chat in the panel. So if you want to do a chat with a user, you can just double click on the user and start chatting with that user. You see it here on the right. Sorry, uh, you are able to maintain your buddy list here. You can add users. If the window on the right is your buddy list, where you can manage your users. You double click on a user and a chat window opens, and you can start a one-to-one and a group chat from this window. A user interface tab. So this is so when we this is the tab for where you get all the features. So if you see this, the mail, contacts, calendars, and then you have the Zimbra Talk tab. And in the Zimbra Talk tab, you have your buddy list where you are able to do your chats, and you can create your own groups and channels and spaces right here. So this is how the new Zimbra Talk tab looks like. It's a new look that you see in your interface. This is a new concept that we have brought in the Zimbra Talk version 2. We need to spend some time understanding this group. So we'll go through this as we go ahead. Presence management is inherited from Zimbra Chat. Zimlet works in the same way, which means you are able to set your own presence information about you available, away, busy, whatever status messages that you want to set uh, for yourself. After a period of inactivity, user preferences will automatically set to away. So if your web client is not active for a specific number of time, your status will automatically get set to away, which is something that was not available in the previous version. So if there is an inactivity in your client, uh, your your status would automatically get changed to away. So which means somebody who's trying to connect with you would get to know that this user is not on his desk right now. Chat history is available for one-to-one, one-to-many chats viewable in the chat panel in the user console. Messages delivered to the users who are offline are actually displayed in the appropriate IM window. So when a user logs in back, he would see messages that came to him while he was offline. So groups, we all know. So we really so this basically we can create invite-only groups. Groups are non-persistent entities that are not tied to any spaces. So what are spaces? Again, I will come to it in a while. So you can create groups for a maximum of 5 people. Any user can create a group by inviting people from their buddy list, and any group member can invite more people in the same way. When all the users exist out of a group, the group would automatically be deleted from the server. So one thing that so the other thing that you would also see in the group on the right hand side is if one of the users want to send an email to all of these 4 members that are available in a group, he doesn't have to go to the mail tab and start typing the email addresses of the people. He can just go to the new mail tab right available on the group and start typing the messages that are available that he wants to send to the members of this group. So you don't have to go to the mail tab, start composing a new message, add those users into that email thread. You just need to click on new mail and they will automatically get added into that email thread. Now spaces and channels. So this is really interesting. Spaces are themed as containers that can hold a number of channels. So think of spaces as a superset, and channels are subset of that spaces. So as it says, think of spaces as a community center where people gather to discuss different topics named as channels. So the spaces uh, are a bigger superset, and people can create their own named channels for specific discussions. A user is invited into a space. User cannot enter into a space. He has to be invited into a space. Whereas channels are topic defined threads, right? So they are a subset of spaces. They can contain any number of users. Unlike the groups which had a limitation of 5, the channel can have any number of users. Joining a channel is not required to see the contents, but it is mandatory to if the user wants to write or receive all notifications. So I can just view, or I can just be a viewer into a channel, but if I want to contribute into a channel, I will have to be a member of that channel. So if there is a discussion about a project that is going in the organization, I can create a space called projects, and then I can create channels with specific project names. So there can be a space called all IT projects, and then can be a channel for example, customer 1, customer 2, customer 3 and 4, and so forth. All the people in the IT group will have to be invited into a space, and in specific channels, everybody who is invited into a channel in the space can view the discussion that is going on in every channel. However, if a user wants to contribute into a channel, he will have to be a part of that specific channel. Spaces and channels are ideal for large, discussions and large threads, teams working across different business units. I will again stop for a moment for you to go through this text uh, and understand what a space is and what are channels. This is a new concept for us in Zimbra Talk version 2. So each space has a unique name and a topic. So if you see on the right screenshot, there is a space called ESM, right? The name cannot be changed after the space has been created. So spaces are constant. They cannot be changed once the space has been created. Members in a space can send an email to all space members by clicking on new mail button. This is similar to what we talked about in the groups. So if a user wants to send an email to people in the space, he can just click on the new message and start sending an email. Members can leave a space by any time by clicking on the leave space. Members can create new channels and invite new people into the space using the appropriate buttons. So people who are a part of a space can create multiple channels and invite people into that channel. So if you see again the screenshot on the right that we see here, ESM is the space, and then there are channels like a demo channel, a general channel, or so these are just two channels that you see here, and then there is a buddy list for this user. So that's how it is. So spaces are supersets, channels are subset of a space. You need to invite a user for him to be a part of space. A user in a channel can invite more people into his channel. A normal user is typically only a viewer into a channel, but if he wants to contribute into a channel, he has to be a part of that channel. He has to be a member of that channel. Talking more of channel features, channels are open, public places within a space. Members in a channel can chat with all other members. Members in a channel can send files to all other members. Messages and files in a channel are viewable by all members in a channel. Members in a channel can start a video conferencing with all other members. Video conferences can be joined at any time by all members of a channel. So what have we done in the background? Platform refactoring for easier updates, which was a difficult task for us in the previous version. Rolling upgrades. This has been a major improvement for us because after we added the core after we added Zimbra Talk into our core, rolling upgrades were becoming difficult for us. For those who are new to rolling upgrades is a feature where you are in a large environment and you cannot upgrade the Zimbra environment in a single shot. This is a feature which allows you to upgrade the environment slowly with a planned activity, which means you upgrade the LDAP servers first, and then the proxies and the MTAs and the mailbox server, so that you are able to slowly upgrade the environment. So basically, two editions of Zimbra can coexist till you upgrade the entire environment, which was becoming difficult when we added the Zimbra Talk uh, in the core. But we have made a lot of enhancements, and now rolling upgrades are fully supported. You can find the release notes for Zimbra Talk on the link below. Uh, so that's about it in terms of the Zimbra Talk features. I will go to my browser and share how does Zimbra Talk looks like.
Hi, welcome to the Zimbra Talk demo. Zimbra Talk is available in Zimbra Network Edition 8.8.8 and above. You can chat in any Zimbra tab using the chat panel. Chatting in Zimbra Talk works just like most messaging applications. Click here to change your status, and just click a user in your buddy list to start chatting. Notice the read awareness checks. 1 check means that your message was delivered to the server. 2 checks means that the user read your message. With this menu, you can do several things. You can send your chat as an email. Your entire chat history is saved for easy reference. And if you have advanced Zimbra Talk features, you can also start a video call with the user or share a file. To chat or video conference with multiple users, click the Zimbra Talk tab. If you don't have a Zimbra Talk tab, it means that you don't have the advanced Zimbra Talk features enabled for your account. Here you can change your status and join in conversations and video conferences in spaces, in groups, and with individual buddies, just like in the chat panel you saw earlier. First, let's take a look at groups. Use groups to communicate with multiple people at the same time. You can create a group whenever you want. Name the group. Invite people from your buddy list. And click Create. In the group, you can chat, add an emoji, send a file, or start a video conference. You can turn off your own camera or microphone, and you can share your screen. You can also keep chatting during the call if you need to. Click here when you are ready to leave the call. Other users can continue the call until everyone leaves. Spaces and channels are different than groups because they can include unlimited people, which is great for corporate messaging. Think of a space as a community center or office building with many rooms. In a space, you can have as many channels as you need. Channels are individual areas in the space defined by topic. Think of a channel as a room in the space or office building. Here are some good things to know. There is no limit to the number of users you can have in a space or channel. However, you do need to be invited to a space. Channels are a bit different. You can visit any channel in a space. You don't need to be invited to channels. And you don't have to join the channel to see the chats and shared files. You also don't need to join the channel to participate in video conferences. But there are some advantages to joining a channel. First, you can participate in the chats, and second, you will receive the channel-wide notifications. Spaces and channels are great tools for corporate messaging. Why? Because you can send an email to everyone in a space using the Send Email button. And because it's easy to communicate with channel members with a simple chat or call. Thanks for watching. To learn more about Zimbra Talk or other Zimbra products, please visit zimbra.com.